Haha! Hopefully we're live. Is my camera like blurry or something now? Seems okay. Let me just adjust this lighting real quick. Haha! Hopefully we're live. Is my camera like blurry or something now? Seems okay. Let me just adjust this lighting real quick. Oh, so we are live. Okay. All right. Just give me a second. I'll be right back. I'm gonna check something. But I got a crazy video for you guys, man. Is Joe Rogan gone insane? But I'll be back. All right. All right. Let's listen to this Joe Rogan clip because I find it rather fascinating. And Asman Gold is reacting to it too, so there might be some cuss words in it. So, parental provision is advised for this one. Just a heads up for the kids. That's all I'm saying. All right, let's get into this one.
The immigration thing, the way it looks is horrific. When you're just arresting people in front of their kids and just normal, regular people that have been here for 20 years, that everybody who has a heart can't get along with that.
I guess I don't have a heart. I'm totally okay with
What
that.
the?
You should do it more.
Joe Rogan's gone off the wild.
Just because you have your kids with you doesn't mean that you're immune to consequences.
That's for sure.
It's emotional manipulation.
How? Everybody who has a heart sees that and goes, that can't be right. That can't be right. That can't be the only way to do this.
Right.
Because
the other way to do it would be to have closed the borders ahead of time, and that way it would have never been an issue. Anytime that somebody gets apprehended by the police for committing a crime or doing something wrong, they're separated from their family or from their kids. If they're with their kids, it's not like this is some kind of get out of jail free card. You still go to jail.
So, as you can see right here, Joe Rogan, he's a softie. He's like, well, you can't be doing that in front of their kids. And, it's like, okay, but they know the consequences of going over the border illegally, that they might someday get apprehended, right? And he's using this fallacy of the kids to make you feel bad. See, this is the thing with most evil and manipulative people or person. They get you emotionally. And once they get you emotionally, you stop listening to what they're actually saying, which now you're going conscious because now you're thinking, and the thinking brings you away from the truth, because the thinking is that, oh, you're trying to put yourself in their shoes, and you're trying to say if you were in that situation, right? So the imagination is giving you all this scenario now. Now you're so far from the truth you can't even see it anymore, right? And that is emotionally manipulating you, right? Because they're using the kids, which they don't care about the kids. Joe Rogan doesn't care about the kids. The mother and father don't care about the kids because they wouldn't put their kids in this situation if they care about the kids. If Joe Rogan really care about the kids, he'd be like, well, your father should have come in illegally so he can provide for you properly and work and sustain the family properly, right? That's just what I'm understanding here. But I don't want to rant too long on it. But it's just interesting to me that they always use the kids, the kids. Look, in this country, you have transgender, you have all these mothers abusing and raising the kids, and yet you're going to say you care about kids? Not really. You guys are speaking truths because now he voted for Trump and he doesn't want to seem bad. Like, oh, I don't agree with what Trump is doing now. Like, I mean, this is what people vote for, right? But let's continue.
It doesn't even make sense. This is like, it's totally illogical in every other application of this rule.
You have to think, look, yeah, we have to have a border. Yes, it should have been secure. Yes, they should make sure you know who everybody is before they get in.
Yeah.
But when people have been here for 20 years, like, come on, man. That's crazy.
That's not an excuse.
I agree. It is crazy. How are you here for 20 years? You break the law for 20 years. You can't figure out how to get a visa. You can't go through the immigration process. You can't do anything. How does that make any sense?
They waste their time,
How is it that
yeah?
these people can disrespect the laws? And also, a lot of these people are doing identity theft. They're doing other bullshit. They're paying some taxes. They're not paying other taxes. I wonder, like, yeah, stealing an American's job in a lot of cases. Yes, and it's just insane. So, yeah, I don't know what to say. It's crazy, man. Like, you've been saying this for years? Yeah, exactly. So I think that this argument works, but it works in the opposite direction. How is it that these people have been here for 20 years, but they couldn't figure out how to get any form of citizenship or residence in the country?
They just didn't care that they were breaking the law. Because there was no law of the land. So they were free to roam the land. And now law is coming down hard. Everyone is panicking. And yet they're calling what's happening now totalitarian government and all this crap. But there was no law of the land, right?
Like, what are you doing?
Find a way. If they've been productive members of society for 20 years, no criminal record, they worked the entire time, they paid taxes, find them a pathway to citizenship. Find a way where you can do this.
Because if you do that, then you provide a reward structure around people breaking the law.
I agree with Asmongold on this.
If you ever have a system that rewards people for breaking the law, you've created a system that rewards people for breaking the law. Why is
it's funny because I was just listening to Trump. He did pretty much a big cut and idea for females and family that wants to have kids. And I was thinking, like, why do we always bail women out of their bad decision making, right? And then I think, well, yes, the country needs to have more babies, especially white babies, right? But it's still, we're awarding bad behavior. That's just how I look at it in general. You can say whatever you want. It's still awarding bad behavior because you're still incentivize them to chase a career, have baby late, and not prioritize taking care of a family, but push your career and career driven. And but this is the thing, right? You know what? Trump can do that. Let him do that, right? Let him do that. You know who this is gonna have the repercussion on? The males that pick this type of woman. Because if the males end up being right, they would know. Listen, oh, an educated, egotistic, a woman in strife, and she want to be a man, or she want to be a male, not her given role, by the way. Why would I want to marry her when she's never going to be in her God-given role? She's always going to chase after what the man was given to do. She's always going to do that. So it's the man's fault, or it's the man's responsibility to govern the hell inside of him from stopping him to picking a crazy, career-driven, egotistic female, right? I don't know. I would have to let me sleep on that one for a little bit more. Let me smoke on that one for a little bit more, right?
Is it that a person who intentionally disrespects and breaks the law of a country gets to get moved to the front of the immigration the immigration line, and get made a citizen or a resident of the country? How is it fair to everybody else who didn't break the law that the people that did get first chances over them?
That's a great point.
How is it fair to them? And I think this is the problem that a lot of people have, is that they always think about things from a very, very limited perspective, and they never think about it with other people and how they're being treated. Well, then why not change the law? Well, because I agree with the law. I think that you shouldn't just randomly let people in the country.
Why change the law? The law was there for a reason, and the law was governing the country for so long until you guys want to change the law, and by changing the law, got you into this mess of a situation, right? Because of weak beta males, feminine males, and because an emotional male, they're emotional, and anyone that's emotional, any male that is emotional is a female. Just like Joe Rogan here, he's trying to play mama, which is kind of crazy. I didn't know he was this mama. I hardly listened to him. I never really listened to him, actually, but I just find this clip very interesting.
Agree with it. I think that's the way the rules should be, and I don't see I see no logical reason otherwise. Point exactly. Been waiting a turn. Yeah, of course, right? So if I rob banks for 20 years and I get caught in my 21st year, I shouldn't get in trouble. Yeah, it just
no, you shouldn't.
This makes sense.
Why should you?
Why should you?
Why should you get charged and go to jail when really you may have paid some tax on it. You may provide job to communities and do some bunch of stuff, but you shouldn't. We should just change the law to accommodate you. That's crazy.
This is what's happened. I think this is what's very clearly happened, is that people like Joe Rogan, Theo Vaughn, a couple of these other podcasters, they...
Oh, Theo Vaughn. Oh, I kind of remember that guy.
Are afraid of the negative optics of, arresting people in front of their kids or something like that, and they don't want to be seen as that kind of a person. But really, it's not about the optics. Anybody, if you're ever worried about the optics of something, you've now become manipulated by a person who wants to take advantage of you. Because you've effectively given your ability to decide your own fate away to somebody else who oftentimes doesn't want you to succeed. So really, whenever you're caring about how will people who don't like me perceive what I'm doing? Well, they're going to try to make it look wrong. They're going to try to make it look bad.
Why does it matter? It's feelings either way. Who cares about feelings? Feelings is evil. It's used to manipulate and control you. So who cares what you feel? Feelings, what?
Real reason. They're not afraid of optics or afraid of Democrats. I'm sure some of them are, but I think there's more than that too. You're making this argument where you admitted multiple times, didn't play credit card loans multiple times. Yeah, well, no, that was my mom, to be fair. It was my mom, and she did get away with it. Yeah, you're right. But, what I'm saying is that... and also, I think credit card companies are total fucking scams to begin with. They're scammers, and so fuck them. I don't think that it's a scam that you can't come into the United States unless you fill out paperwork.
I mean, even though, let's say, older credit card companies are scam, or real estate or car dealer or salesman, they scam it to some extent. It doesn't make what you're gonna do right, and it doesn't make what they're doing right. Right? And when you're able to see, let's say you go in to buy a house or to buy a car to get a credit card, and you see that they're ripping you off, it's up to you to say, I'm not gonna take it. Or it's up to you to get scammed and ripped off by them, right? They have a job to do, and they're doing their job, which is to scam you and make money. That's how salespeople work. That's how the economy kind of work, right? Like you have YouTubers on YouTube that brain rot you. They don't give you anything good information, or for you to, lack of word, for communication purposes, to better yourself, because you can't really better yourself. There's no self to better, right? But you still watch them, and they're making money off you without you even getting anything to, lack of word, better yourself. But you can't better yourself, if you understand what I'm saying, right? They're taking your time away, but you're not realizing that you're the one buying in their product. You're unconscious without knowing it, so you're attractive to their, what's the word they use these days, degenerate content, and you buy into it. So it's the same thing all over the world, right? It's for you to be able to be conscious and select for yourself what will, better yourself, for a lack of words, for the sake of using words, right? It's up to you to not get scammed. Just saying.
And so, yeah, it's a little bit different. And, there are no hiding places around here, nowhere.
Because if there wasn't a market for it, really, it wouldn't be that permanent, right? It would be there, but it wouldn't be making so much money off people. Just saying. Just saying, man.
No, yeah, of course. And so that's really the difference to me. But either way, I mean, you're trying to make this like a personal thing for me or whatever. Why are you attacking me? Shouldn't you be attacking what I'm saying rather than trying to draw this like just completely dishonest comparison that doesn't have anything to do with what I'm saying? Why are you even bringing it up in the first place?
What the? Bro, why are you attacking Asmongold, bro? I mean, he's not. You should talk about the scenario, not him, but whatever.
So this is not a principled stance? No, not really. I mean, well, my principles, so this is the way that I look at it. I don't derive my morality or ethics from the law. I think that to a certain extent you have to follow the law, but my morality and what I think is right and wrong doesn't really have to do with the law. So there are...
I wonder where Asmongold get his morality from. Probably from his parents, where most people do get their morality from, right?
A lot of things that I think are okay that illegally are not okay, and vice versa. So there are some laws that I agree with and other laws that I don't agree with. And the ones that I do agree with, I think that we should enforce, and the other ones I don't think that we should enforce that much. So it's really just that simple.
That's kind of wishy-washy, right? It's like, then you're making up the law. It's kind of... the law should not be off someone's morality, because that can change real quick.
And the only difference between, I think, me and a lot of other people is that I'm pretty open about this. I'm pretty open about this, and I think that this is a more honest conversation to have. But I don't think people want to have honest conversations. I think that they want to hold on to optics and try to, create these weird little gotchas and stuff like that. That's it. So it's okay to not care about a legal immigrant law? No, I agree with you, but I think that's a stupid position. So, and I'm going to pull up your message here. Give me 1 second. I'll pull it up and I'll respond to it.
I mean, people don't want the truth, man, and it's just what it is, right? It's just what it is, and people are gonna continue to hold on to what is not true because it's comfortable. It's comfort. They don't have to work or look for something new to like for communication purposes, right? Improve themselves. But you can't. You can't improve yourself. No matter how hard you try, because there's no such thing as improving yourself.
So, do you think that we should let illegal aliens into the country without checking who they are?
What? Of course not.
Do you think we should do that? Do you think that's a good decision?
That's
For the
crazy.
country?
That's crazy. You can't do that. What the?
Then you're just wasting my time. You're wasting my time with an argument that you don't even have. You don't even think this. You're just arguing for no reason.
That's my goal. My question to you is, what is he doing over there when he should be over here? That's all I'm saying, man.
Like, it's just, what are you doing?
He did.
Anyway, let's go ahead. We'll move on, right? They could avoid
He did.
citizenship. Yeah, it's such a waste of time.
All right, let's get on with the clip
That
now.
was fast. Well, yeah. I mean, like, I have no problem with somebody that wants to, like, debate on something or whatever. There is no argument. Every country has borders. Yeah, exactly.
Thing that you want to do, which is keep terrorists and cartel members from getting across the border with drugs that kill 100,000 people a year.
Yes.
Okay, but also have a fucking heart, because if you don't, you're not going to.
The thing is with this is that there are a lot of it is human trafficking as
What?
well, and tremendous amounts of human trafficking happen.
I seriously don't understand what Joe Rogan just said. I know he said you want to stop drugs and cartel from bringing drugs to the United States, but have a heart? What does that even mean? I don't know what he meant by that, honestly.
And because you're allowing people that are already here to have a path to citizenship if they're found to be here, then you've also created another reward structure through a second order effect of human trafficking. Because now, if somebody who is already in the United States is able to get a fast-tracked path to citizenship, that makes it all the more important to find somebody that will traffic you into the United States. And this is the problem, I think, with a lot of this logic here, is that it's not logic. It's just emotion. It's a emotional reaction based off of something that you see, rather than thinking out what the right thing is and the best thing is for the most people.
So you're telling me that Joe Rogan can't be trusted because he's double-minded. And a double-minded person that is emotional is destructive. They're destructive. And they're one with evil. Because he's emotional. I mean, he's a thinking, intellectual kind of person, from what I gathered. So it makes sense.
And I think that it's very easy for somebody to see a YouTube video or somebody to see a clip that's upsetting or emotionally touching to them, and then decide that, actually, you know what, let's just get rid of this rule. But there's always a lot of times secondary effects and sometimes other direct effects that are just not considered with why these rules exist in the first place. And I think that's one of the big problems.
Get anybody on your side. If you're doing this stuff publicly, throwing women to the ground, handcuffing people, just for existing on the wrong side of the dirt.
Yeah.
Not a criminal. Not the only crime they ever committed was coming over here as a kid.
Yeah.
They probably didn't even know what the fuck was going on.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
So, you know, a lot of kids got snuck across.
Bro, Joe Rogan is dressed as a priest, right? Is that what they're called for this conversation? That's kind of crazy.
And they were already born in Mexico.
Yeah, and that's the reason why you can't let them be kids. That's the reason why you can't give them citizenship. Because if you do, you've just created a reward structure around sneaking kids across the border. That's the exact reason why you can't do it.
Not only that, he said, you can't be... Wait, he said something about... Because Asman Goal, he kind of not touched on exactly what he said. Let me go back just a little
They
bit.
didn't even know what the fuck was going on.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
So, you know, a lot of kids got snuck across when they were already born in Mexico.
Yeah, and that's the reason.
Yeah, okay, so that's the point he said. You know, these kids were young. They didn't know what was going on. They got snuck across the border because by their parents, which did the action. So guess what now? the sins of the parents falls on the child, because the parents created this little emotional experience that when the parents get caught and they're red-handed, they're gonna get caught in front of the children or in front of the kids, and it's gonna traumatize them maybe. But that was due to the action of the parent. The parent is responsible for the child until the child is of age, right? So the parent's action will determine how that child turned out to be. So they created that instance of that scenario, and now the child have to take on that sin of the parents, which is going to be trauma or get sent back with the parents, right? They knew this might and can happen. So they're not, exempt from the law. Just because now you have a kid and the kid will be traumatized. Oh, the kid didn't know what was happening because they were young. The parents knew all the risks. They knew all the rules, and they still break it. So I don't see the point he's making here at all. More than he's emotional about the situation, right?
Reason why you can't let him be kid. That's the reason why you can't give him citizenship. Yeah, this era of feeling is upon us. Yeah, it's an emotional argument, and too much empathy means the cartels end up profiting. Well, I don't know.
Empathy. What is empathy? Like, these people, empathy doesn't even exist. How can you feel someone else's pain? That's crazy. That's a crazy person.
I mean, like, the cartels are always going to find ways to make money, etc. But Rogan might be a sellout now. I don't think Rogan's a sellout. I think that he's just looking at it from a perspective that's incomplete. Like, this is not really that crazy of an opinion, in my opinion. Like, it's not that insane. But and people say this all the time. People are not Nazis.
Yeah, he's not. I don't see. I just look at Joe Rogan as someone that can't see. So same with Asmongold at times. I just see him as someone that can't see. But he's always probably like 90% on point all the time. But that 10% is lacking because he can't see. He can't see, right? He can see the facts and do a logical way of thinking, but he can't see. If you know what I mean, right?
Sees because they think what I think.
Same with Joe Rogan.
A fucking sellout because he's saying this. It's just, I just don't agree with it. I don't agree with it, and I think that this is very. There's like a lot of like short term or like face value empathy that people like this have, and I think that face value empathy falls apart whenever you investigate the consequences of it. And I think that the problem is that a lot of these clips are, number one, they're intentionally misleading. So, for example, the woman that was thrown to the ground, the example that he's using, this woman was federally assaulted. She was assaulting federal officers. Should a federal officer...
Can I pull that clip up while he talks? I'm gonna... I saw that clip on Instagram. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it. Whatever.
Allow himself to be assaulted, period. Should a person allow themselves to be assaulted, period? I think the answer to that is no.
Especially an officer.
They should allow themselves to be assaulted. And I think the answer is never. Never should anybody expect to allow themselves to be assaulted. And whenever she's running away, she's hysterical, she's screaming at him.
She's crazy.
He pushes her on the ground. Yes, obviously that's what happens. If she didn't want that to happen, she shouldn't have been grabbing and screaming at him for the last probably 5 minutes.
Yeah, she clearly overreacted because she's emotional, just like Joe Rogan here. Probably more hysterical, but I saw the video. They arrest the husband, the mother's going crazy at the federal agent, and she's just up in his face. And he's like, listen, woman, just back off. And he's walking away and she's going after him. I mean, at some point, it's like, woman, enough. You're too emotional. You're overreacting. Like, you guys know the risks and the rules and what was involved with your action that you were doing. Just like let's paint this picture real nice. This is a good segue to talk about P. Diddy. Free Diddy, man. Free Diddy. I don't care what you said, free Diddy. Because guess what? All this female coming out, Cassie, oh, Diddy did this to me, Diddy did that to me. Huh? Yet you do all of these text messaging, and I forgot exactly what she said, but allegedly, right? Don't sue me. Listen, don't do it. But whatever, right? She wanted to pick out who she was going to sleep with, allegedly. I think that's what she said, if I remember correctly. But she was there for the traveling, the excitement, the date nights, the jewelry, the music video, the limelight, the attention. Guess what? Oh, now I'm old and it doesn't suit it. I'm not okay with what happened. Now I feel bad. Now I judge myself. And now the devil tells you to go and do this to Diddy. When really you were engaging all of it. You were a part of it. And yet everyone just want to blame Diddy. I'm not saying what he did was right or wrong. I'm just saying they wanted it because they know what they were going to get out of it. And they pretty much used Diddy and Diddy used them. So why is one getting jail time and the other's not getting jail time? Right? It just doesn't make sense to me. But man, it is what it is. You're the male. You're always going to get punished for the behavior of a female that acts poorly and then says because of you. You're always going to get blamed for it. So man, seek out for what is right and what is true in this. And you can avoid all of that, especially when you have money. And especially when you don't have money. Because when you don't have money, you can't defend yourself. And you're going to get more jail time than what Diddy is getting. Because he can pay the big lawyers, right?
Like, why is it always on the person who is responding to violence to be the one who measures their response? It's really the person who's doing it in the first place who's wrong, so you should look at why are they doing it. Forcing your kids to be there? Yeah, 100% with you. She deserved it. Yeah, you shouldn't have done it in the first place.
Could have avoided all of that. He
separates himself since Elon Musk took this as Trump. I can't read Joe Rogan's mind. I have no idea.
But you know the funniest thing, all these people are coming from Mexico and Colombia and all these other countries. They hate white people. They really do, because they blame you for destroying their country. And yet they come here for a better life and they hate you. And you'll let them in. People that hate you, that's gonna destroy you from within. Because they're gonna raise their kids. Say, oh, you're the one that destroyed your country. You're the one that vote for Trump to deport them. And they're just gonna blame you even more now. When they take no responsibility for the action that they have committed, right? The breaking the law. Crazy. You sound just like a female, right?
I'm responding to what he's saying here. And if people stopped allowing their emotions to overtake common sense, we wouldn't have half the problems that we do today. No, we wouldn't have 99% of the problems that we do today.
What?
So, yeah. I think when it comes to retroactively deporting people that have been in the States for years, there could be a merit-based system that determines the appropriate course of action for them. Well, yeah,
is there another video? I think that's it.
That the first step to that merit-based system would be self-deportation. So, for example, I think that if somebody self-deports and they say, hey, I was here for a really long time, I've left, but, I'd like to have a chance to come back, I think that's totally fine. But the proper issue is that whenever you're not even leaving and you're just, basically, I would not support anything that would give a advantage to a person who is a criminal and who has abused and taken advantage of our system, because not all of them are kids. Some of them are kids, but categorically you can't make decisions based off of every law and every rule is going to have a certain amount of collateral damage of people that are affected by it disproportionately. That happening is not a justification to just simply get rid of the rules. It is still an indirect incentive, exactly. And Trump has that as a rule right now. So if you self-deport, you can still have the chance to come back to America if you follow the procedure properly. But nobody has a right to just simply skip the line. There's never any world where somebody has a right to skip the line. You can't do it in the supermarket. You can't do it at the bank. You can't do it at a hospital. You can't do it in an emergency room even. They have to call...
And it might be in some case that it does happen that people skip the line. It doesn't mean that it's right. It doesn't mean that you should go and do it because someone is doing it. Doesn't make it right. I'm just saying, right? But I think he's just gonna, address some question by his audience at this point. So I don't want to keep the video for too long. But let me know what you guys think of the video, man. I think it was very interesting, Joe Rogan takes on this and some of Asmongold input. I think he was spot on with reacting to this Joe Rogan clip. So I wanted to bring it to you guys and, put some little 2 cents on it that I see where there was some other little touch point that was needed. But like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you guys think of the video, and I'll see you in the next one. And peace in the Middle East. Well, I guess Trump achieved that, but now peace in your hearts. But guess what? Most people don't want it. Do you see what's happening in Gaza right now? How the same Palestinian Hamas group turning on their own people.